All right, let's dive into something that's absolutely fundamental if you're building smart AI agents: memory. We're going to start with short-term memory. How to get your agent to actually remember what you just said in the same conversation. This is step one. You've totally been here, right? You're in the middle of a great chat with an AI, you're making progress, and then poof. On the very next prompt, it has no clue what you were just talking about. It's such a common and, let's be honest, super frustrating problem. So let's see this memory loss in action. We're going to walk through a classic example with a little trip planning agent that really highlights the issue perfectly.
Okay, so check this out. In the first turn, you ask it to plan a trip to Lisbon. It does a great job, comes back with a plan for day one. You're thinking, awesome. So you say, perfect, plan day two. But look at the agent's reply. I can help with that. Where would you like to go? It's completely forgotten about Lisbon, about day one. Everything. You're right back at square one.
So, how in the world do we fix this? Well, the good news is it's actually surprisingly simple. The solution is built around this core idea called a session. So what is a session? Honestly, the best way to think about it is just like a single chat thread on your phone with a friend. That's it. By keeping the whole conversation in one single session, the AI can just scroll back, and see the entire history of everything that's been said. And this just shows the difference perfectly. It's night and day. We ask the exact same questions, but this time it all happens in the same session. Now, when we say, perfect, plan day two, the agent comes back with, of course, for day two in Lisbon, I suggest. See, it remembers. That simple act of using the same session gives it the context it needs to continue the plan without a hitch.
Okay, so we know that it works, but how does it work? Let's pop the hood for a second and look at the two key components that make this all possible. Something called events and something called state.
Inside every session, you've basically got these two core parts. First up, you have events. Think of this as the complete word-for-word transcript of the conversation. Every single thing you said, everything the agent said back. Then you have state. And the best analogy for state really is a simple sticky note where the AI can just jot down the most important bits of info for quick and easy access. Let's zero in on that sticky note idea for a second. You might be wondering, hey, if the AI can just read the entire transcript of events, why does it even need a state? And that's a great question. It really all comes down to one word: efficiency. You don't want your AI to have to reread 100 messages over and over again just to find one little piece of information, like a city name or a booking number. And this is where state becomes a real powerhouse, especially when you have a team of specialized agents working together. So imagine Agent A. Its job is to find restaurants. You ask it for a place, and it finds the Cozy Bistro. Now, instead of just telling you, it also writes the Cozy Bistro onto that shared sticky note, the state. Then Agent B, a totally different agent that gives directions, gets a request. It doesn't have to ask you directions to where, it just glances at the sticky note, reads the destination, and gives you the directions. It's absolutely seamless. Now, using state is clearly powerful. But, and this is a big but, there is one critical, golden rule you absolutely have to follow. If you get this wrong, it can cause some major headaches down the road, especially when we start talking about long-term memory. And here it is. The crucial point is this: you should never modify the session object directly in your tool code. It's a simple rule, but it is so vital to remember when you're working with your agent's memory. Let's break that down. On the left, you see the wrong way, just reaching in and changing the session directly. If you do this, the change is basically off the books. It's not logged, it's not recorded as part of the conversation, and it's going to get lost. On the right, you see the correct way, using the proper context.state method. When you do it this way, the change is officially recorded as an event in the conversation transcript. That means it can be saved, it can be recovered, and it's a permanent part of the record. All right, let's do a super quick recap. A session is just a single conversation thread. Events are the official transcript of that conversation. State is your handy little sticky note for the really important data. To keep your AI from forgetting things, always use the same session. And the golden rule: always write to state the right way, using context.state. And if you need one final way to cement this in your head, think of this short-term session memory as being just like the RAM in your computer. It is incredibly fast, it's absolutely essential for whatever task you're working on right now, but as soon as you turn the power off or end the session, it's gone. It's temporary by design. So,
We've solved the goldfish brain problem. Your agent can now actually remember things from one turn to the next within a single conversation. But what happens when you close that chat and come back tomorrow? What about long-term memory? Well, that's the next big piece of the puzzle, and we'll tackle that in our next explainer.